So, good evening, my dear Dharma brother and sister. I hope you had a good weekend. So anyway, this is I think the fourth time, right? Fourth class? Fifth class. So the last four classes, we talk about, first we talk about the universal five mental factors. Anyway, so whatever we talk in the past, so we don't have to find out from others. All the mental factors within us. The positive mental factors or negative mental factors, all mental factors within us. As a student, as a Buddhist, it is so crucial, so important to recognize yourself, all the 52 or 51 mental factors. So it is not easy to recognize just reading a book, listening a video, audio, but you have to recognize through your own experience. Once you're able to recognize your own experience, then really you recognize, when this type of minds arising within me is make me happy. And that type of negative emotion arising within me, you can feel it. Yes, it is make me unhappy. It make me suffering. It give me suffering. So, and also only not that, after you study about minds and mental factors, you must know which minds are negative, which minds are positive, and which mind can, eliminate the negative thoughts and emotions. How I can develop the positive minds, how I can, decrease, minimize, eliminate. So that's why, study about minds and mental factor is look like you are recognize your own enemy. Your enemy. Also, you look like you are recognize your own the best friend. Sometimes we say, the person is my best friend, because the person always give you, support, always help you. That's why we say, he is my best, he or she, the person is my best friend. But the person, when we say that the person is my best friend, yes, the person is not really being, born with you. After a few years, then the person became your friends, or many people became your friends. Somehow, after a few days, or a few months, or a few years, the person will become your enemy. So when we say the person is my friend or enemy, there's not really certain. Someday the person can be your friends, someday the person can be your enemy. It's not really, sure, not really certain. So the external enemies and external friends always has changed according to the circumstances. But the internal enemies always be your enemies. Your enemies. For example, as we say, anger is my enemy. The anger always remains with you as your enemy. If you believe in the previous life, yes, the anger was your enemy. If you really don't believe in the previous life, the next life, even though in only this lifetime, you can see the anger always remains with you as your enemy. And compassion, kindness, tolerance, patience, always with you as your friends. So the Buddhist practice is look like, you have to, familiar your minds with the friends. You always have to distance yourself. You are the negative emotion, you are inner enemies. If you are able to stay, distance, small distance or short or long distance, then you feel more happy. If you are able to stay close or very closeness with your, the positive minds, you always be happy. You always feel I'm happy. You always feel I'm okay in circumstances. So studying about minds and mental factors, it looks like studying about, you recognize your enemies, which emotion is your enemy and which emotion is your friends. So, all the positive minds, all the wholesome minds and mental factors are our friends. Not only this life or previous life, also in the future also they remain as our friends. All the negative thoughts, negative emotion, the destructive, the minds and thoughts also remains as your enemy. So this is the main point, after you study about minds and mental factors, then you must recognize yourself through your own experience. Because this morning I was reading about a Tibetan text about minds and mental factors, which is written by Lobsang Yonten. He was one of the most, famous writer who wrote a lot of texts. Also he mentioned, when we say, it's so easy to understand. When you feel yourself, when you try to understand yourself through your own experience, it's more difficult. For example, before I start the next subject, we always talk about compassion. We talk about love, kindness. It is so difficult to understand your own experience. What is the differences between compassion and love? So what is the pure compassion and the compassion which is, contaminated by other negative emotions? Everybody, since we're born, we have been talking about kindness, compassion, love. So what is the differences between love and compassion? So what is how we can differentiate between pure compassion and compassion mixed with the other negative thoughts and emotions? For us, so difficult to have a pure sense of compassion towards your friends, your family, so difficult. Of course, we have a sense of compassion, sense of caring, sense of love towards your parents, your family, and brothers. Somehow is mixed and contaminated by kind of attachment, desire, or some other emotion. So special as we everybody consider ourselves, we are kind of Mahayan Buddhists. Also, it's so important to have a sense of pure compassion. So you must differentiate between compassion and love. Secondly, must differentiate between pure compassion and pure love. Right? So usually, how you can differentiate between two of them. So now, compassion and love.
Compassion.
Love and like.
Love and like.
Yeah, first love and like. I like the fruit. I love the fruit.
Love, it will normally comes with a sense of ownership. you love something, then you tend to have the attachments of holding on to it. That is love. So it's more stronger emotion than like. So like is only a lighter that you would like to have it, but the attachments towards the objects is not as strong as love. So when it comes to love, it is a stronger emotion,
the like.
yeah, and grasping.
The second, love and compassion differences.
The compassions, in my opinion, it always comes with a sufferings or problems. So I may not love someone, but I can have compassions towards someone when the situations is unfavorable of someone or any objects. So I may be feeling compassions without loving it.
Okay. So Sonam said, the light and love. The light is just like very light. Love is more deeper, more stronger. And from his opinion, so because this is I think we mix the general term and the Buddhist term. We never use the love for, the material things. We never say, I have a love based on the Buddhism, the Buddhist term. So I say, I like this place. We never say, I have a love this place. But the love, as he mentioned, the love and compassion always have to focus on kind of sentient beings. Not the flower, not the food, not the house. Love and compassion always have to focus on a sentient being. So this, I think, one of the unique thing from the Buddhism. Look at the love and compassion both focus towards sentient beings. The sentient being is always kind of an object of compassion and love. So love and compassion both focus a sentient being or many sentient beings or few sentient beings. Doesn't matter. They have to focus, a sentient being or many. The difference is here. Look at when I say I have a love, we focus the suffer sentient being. You focus the sentient being, and in your mind you say, I wish the person, the animal, the sentient being be happy. Be happy. Wish to be happy is the love. Compassion, wish to be separate from suffering. Right? For example, I can have a love and compassion towards one person. I can focus a person. When I develop love, I must focus the person and I wish the person, be happy, have a cause of happiness. Compassion, I focus the same person and in a sense of be separate from suffering. And wish to be separate, cause of suffering. It's kind of, one is kind of wishing to have a happiness, one is kind of wishing to separate from suffering. This is the difference between love and compassion. Secondly, what is the difference in pure love and pure compassion? So look at, when I have a compassion towards my students, my brother, my sister, it's kind of some kind of mixed with the attachment. Because I have a love, I have a sense of caring because he or she, the person, my friends, my family, that's why I have a sense of attachment. So pure love attachment, I think we must understand based on our own experience. When you met, a strange or new person, which you don't know anything about the person, he or she has a lot of suffering, a lot of problems. Or he or she, the person need a medicine, need a clothes, need a food. That moment, you really feel, you really feel, I want to give a medicine. cloth, food. This is very pure. Because you don't have kind of condition, there's no condition. Then we just give support. Very pure. Special, as a family, as for example, of course, even though the two friends, they're really good friends. And one day, one of them, they get very serious kind of like a disease, physical disease, like AIDS, HIV. So now I know, my friends, the person of my friends has a very serious kind of skin disease. If I touch it, I can get disease. Look at it. And that moment, the person can have a less compassion, less love towards his friends. At that moment, the person, I really, really don't care. I still want to help. It's more pure, very pure. Once you have a conditions, love and compassion, finally, you can have some kind of problem. So, as a Mahayana practitioner, Mahayana Buddhist follower, you always try to develop pure sense of compassion, pure sense of love, without, any conditions. So the compassion and love is the best antidote of anger. So we talk about the 6 root of negative emotions, right? 6 root. There's a reason we say 6 root. The root is the main cause. So what are they? Anger, attachment, desire, ignorance, pride, and wrong view. These are the root. These are the cause for all problems or suffering. It is a root. Second, when we talk about here, in the list they said 22nd unwholesome factors. I think we must say the 22nd,
20.
or 20 secondary, is it secondary?
Secondary.
Yeah, so we must say, 20 closeness, unwholesome factors. Closeness, close. Far and close.
Okay.
The secondary, not really,
A good word.
yes, good word, but better to say 20 close to or closeness, unwholesome mental factors. Closeness. Because all these 20 mental factors, some are very close to anger, some are attachment, some are desire. It's not really anger, but it's more close to anger. Secondary, I don't know the meaning, not much, doesn't make sense much. So, what are the 20, secondary or closeness and also mental factors? The first one, the Sanskrit says krodha. Krodha. It's kind of the rich and fairy, yeah. Fury, yeah. Rich and fury. So can you tell me the meaning of rich and fury? Fury, the meaning.
Really deep anger. I mean, really.
Deep.
Yes, very, very deep anger.
Burning.
If you're furious, fury comes from the word furious. Yeah.
Furious.
Really deep.
In Tibetan, the words we said, choa. Choa is very close to anger, but not really anger. So the differences between anger and rage and fury. Fury. Look at choa means if you have a angry anger to someone, even though the person is not around here, but you still feel it, you know. When you remember, you feel not happy. But you are not really jumping here because the person is not around you. You are not really, you know, touching any kind of instrument, any kinds of things. When the person comes close to you, the anger becomes very strong, and you are ready to fight. You are ready to, you know, lift up any weapon. That's the moment when the anger reaches very stronger and ready to touch the weapon. And that moment, that kind of mind we call, you know, rage or fury. It is kind of cause and result, anger and fury. So this is close to anger. So all these, you know, 20 mental factors, some.
Sorry, Geshe, brought back to the words Dura text. So fury and anger, what is the relationship?
The anger is cause, fury is kind of result.
Right.
But fear is not really anger, because when you be very, when anger is arising very strongly, then there's another mind come. Oh, I must hold the weapon and kill or something.
So fury is not anger.
No, very
Fury is
close
the result of
anger, and very close to, always function with close with the anger.
So anger, is it a mind or a mental factor?
Mental, yeah. That's why I said, you know, generally we can call mind. When we say mind and mental factor, within the truth, always anger and mental factors or mind. So I mentioned before, the mind just hold the object as a whole, not particular way. Minds. All the mental factors function very specifically, very precisely. The theory is anger is differences. Number second, apana. Number two, yeah, apana is, I think, resentment. I think everybody know the resentment, right? Resentment. And you hold in your mind resentment. So look at, when there's an attachment, then there's a anger. If there's an anger, there's a rage and fury. When there's a fury, then there's a resentment. Resentment can be, you know, maybe come from anger, attachment, any kind of resentment. So this is one of the really, really bad, you know, the mental factors. Of course, as a, you know, as the society, as a living in the society, as a living in the family, you know, work with your co-worker. Of course, you have some argument, you have some kind of, you know, problem here, there. You never ever hold, or he or the person did something, say something in your heart, in your mind. Once you hold, you know, oh, he says something on me. If you hold in your mind, when you wake up in the morning, first you remember the person. If you hold your mind. If somebody is so kind for you, if you hold, yes, the person is so kind to me, is so nice to me, when you get up in the morning, yes, first you remember the person. You feel so happy. You hold the person as your enemy, when you wake up, you remember. So that's why, you know, so forgiveness. The forgiveness is the best, you know, antidote for the, you know, resentment. When you have a resentment, then you always looking a chance, right? Chance. Opportunity. How I can, you know, fight. How I can have a kind of give some bad result to them. Konjin. We call konjin, you know, always hold in your mind the person as your enemy. The person is really harmful for me. Resentment. The number three, the maraksa. I think there's three different words, right? Chapa, in Tibetan, chapa. Here the concealment. Concealment. And then slackness, slayness, slideness. Number third one? Number three, concealment. So, yeah.
You're not open, you're not honest. Yeah, you're
No honest. Okay.
Cunning.
cunning. Yeah.
Cunningly, you want to hide something.
You want to.
Yeah, you are. This is the correct way. In Tibetan was the chapa. Chapa. So somebody, somebody did something wrong. Everybody noticed. I did something wrong. Everybody noticed I did wrong thing. And somebody said, Geshe, oh, you did something. This is not really good. Then I'm not ready to accept. I'm not ready to accept. I noticed myself, yeah, I did wrong, but I hide kind of the action. I'm not ready to accept what I did. So also, this is one of the, I think, of course, very kind of the bad habit. It's very bad habit. Because the other person not really, salting, not really, to other people try to correct your action.
Without bad intention.
Without bad intention.
Yes.
The other person very good, very pure motivation. They really want to change in the better way. Says, no, I didn't do this. No good, it's no bad, it's okay. It's always hard. So that's why, when we do something wrong, if you notice I did it wrong, you must accept. Yes, I did it wrong. I'm very sorry. I won't do again and again. That's why you make yourself in the correct. Of course, as a sentient being, we still, haven't eliminated all the negative emotions. We always do something wrong. So the first time when you did something wrong, if what other people notice, you must accept. Even though they don't know, you must accept yourself, I did wrong. So this is, I think one of the bad kind of the mental habit in the society. So we have to recognize, even though as a Buddhist, look at, I think the first time when I came in this class, I mentioned, first we just forget I'm a Buddhist. Just forget. What do you think? Slow.
Yes. Sorry, it's the reception.
Okay, Alpha, cross. Anyway, look at. First, you just forget you are Buddhist. Just think I'm a human being. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. As a human being, what we have to do? What we have to do? What are the responsibility of ours? What's our responsibility? So, be honest. Be compassionate. Be good person. It's the responsibility for all human beings. Just forget as a religious or believer religion or not. Just forget. As a human being, we have a responsibility. As parents, you have a responsibility. So we must first try to be very honest, be compassionate, be good person, be sincere. If everybody able to do this way, I think we don't need any kind of army, police, any secret agency. We don't need. First. Second, look at, even though we are not really able to be honesty, be compassion, be good person, be good human being, but we try to be Buddhist. We try to be good Buddhist. You never ever become good Buddhist before you become good person. The religion is kind of your second second trust or second what? Second
Belief.
priority. So if we able to, you must recognize all this emotion in your emotion and just always try to be distant of them. Then you become a really good human being. Then once you become a really good human being, then you really become a kind of good Buddhist. Good Buddhist. So why there are so many Buddhist people around the world, in the Singapore, in India, in Tibet, we have many people who believe in Buddhism. Even though they believe in Buddhism, they believe in Mahayan Buddhism, they try to practice Mahayan Buddhism, but they don't feel happy themselves. They never find kind of happiness because they don't recognize all the negative emotion, never try to be distant with this emotion, these negative emotions. So that's why I think being honesty is one of the very important practice. Number three is I think very easy to concealment and slyness, and concealment. It's chapa. Number 4, pradasa. Chapa. Like a spitefulness. What does it mean?
With the bad intention.
Being hurtful. Yeah, you're hurtful. You say nasty things.
Nasty things.
Spiteful.
Chapa. Tsikpa is number chapa. Is the number 4? Number 4, right?
Yes.
Tsikpa. Okay, I must look in the Tibetan. I wrote this morning, but I read this morning. Tsikpa is that different. I think I'm not sure in the same order this board and this board. It's number 4, Tsikpa. Tato. Chapa. Tsikpa. Oh yeah. It's very similar. Number 4 and number 3. Very close. The meaning is very close. Not exactly same. Here look at Tsikpa. Somebody try to make it in the correct, right action, right speak, whatever. They have very, very pure motivation. Then they're not ready to accept. Instead, they really want to look. They're really looking a chance to fight back to the person. Somebody says, "Oh, Geshe, then you did this. This thing is no good." I said, "No, I'm not ready to accept. Instead, I'm really want to fight back to the person." This kind of mental factors. Very close to the number.
But that kind sounds more like repute with a heart in a heart.
Spitefulness.
Spiteful. You tend to do the nasty actually.
Yeah.
Spiteful.
Spiteful is like coming with a bad intention that.
Yeah. The bad actions come from the person's.
Yeah, the Tibetan is I think there is a Tsikpa. Tsikpa, I said, the meaning is very close. Number 3, number 3 and number 4 is very similar, but not exactly. So also that we don't know the person has a good motivation or bad motivation. Even though there's somebody you are doing this, it's not good way. You must do other way. So even though you don't understand the motivation, but you try to be, try to change the habit, try to change the action in the good way. So the number 4 and number 3 is number 3 and 4 is very similar. Number 5, I think everybody knows envy and jealousy. Jealousy. So when we say, he or the person is jealous me, so why we, put the jealousy in the unwholesome mental factors? Why? Why is it so bad, the jealousy?
Prevents us from rejoicing.
Rejoicing.
Prevents us from rejoicing.
Rejoicing, right?
You don't, you're not glad about the other person being better than you or something, you're upset by it.
So what is the differences between, jealousy and, I don't know, tado? So, we have a jealousy about the name. Someone is really famous, also we have a jealousy. Someone is very rich, we have a jealousy. And so the jealousy can be focused on many different ways. Not necessarily, kind of sentient being, kind of human being. Somebody is very famous, he or the person has very famous name. So you are not really happy. But somebody is we are quite, very quite stupid. Because, for example, I know myself, for example, I cannot compete the person who are very famous. But I'm not ready to, appreciate, his rejoicing. Why? Look at your condition, look at your education, look at your economy, but you are not able to compete the person, but you still try to compete the person. We cannot. What we got, instead, it makes you unhappy. So, even though someday you can see, very little children or child is very good talented. We just, reducing, they must appreciate, must respect. For example, there's two kind of neighbors who lives next each other. Other family bought very nice car, very famous, a beautiful car. You have a very simple car. But you cannot buy this very expensive, very luxury car, but you are not happy. I don't want to buy. But you have not this kind of, condition. You are not that condition. Then, what we have to do, if you are able to appreciate, you are able to, be like to them, then it is good for you, because when you see the car, you're not really, unhappy. If you are really jealousy about the car and the house and the car, each time you see the car and the family, you will never be happy. Jealousy is in. And so another very bad one, as an educated person, is they have a jealousy each other about their education, their experience. The jealousy. So, Kungtang Tibetan, he was one of the very famous scholar. He said the jealousy is look like a really very high mountain. Very high mountain with a very tip, like a tip, right? It's never able to hold the water in it because it's too high. And also he said, when you look at the field, you can see some spot, right? Sprout?
Sprout.
Yeah.
Some is like a
Band.
some is like very straight. What's the difference in two of them?
You will find dew on those that bend.
Who has a lot of like a grains is like always bent. The spot nothing have like little or nothing is very straight. Usually in the society you can see that people who don't have an experience, not really educated, they always have very strong, like a like a jealousy or pride. Always try to look like this, going this way. You can see in the society the people who are educated, experienced, always respect others. So we must learn, respect everybody. Someone is very young than you, someone is very poor than you, someone is very rich than you always respect. If everybody respect each other, it's making kind of the harmonies within the family, within the society, whatever, the respect. But we don't have a respect, we don't have a respect to someone because we have a jealousy. Jealous about name and fame and whatever, jealousy. It's very easy to understand the number 5, number 4, number 5, jealousy, number 6, Masaya. It's, I think, stingy. Yeah.
Stingy, me.
Yeah, it's not everybody, right? Stingy. He's very stingy. And listlessness, miserliness. Miserliness is Serna. So something is really good to be, stingy.
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 You said
You said it's stingy.
Stingy, good to be stingy. Right?
It depends on context and what you are
Yes, it
stingy
depends
about.
what you're stingy about.
I'm stingy about my anger and hatred towards you.
Stingy, yeah, stingy. So, Serna, also I think, so as a human being, we need a clothes and food and shelter. Of course, we need it. If you, there's a two different way you can think.
Avarice is greed.
Somebody say it's okay to
Opposite.
stingy,
Stingy and avarice are kind of opposite because avarice is greedy.
greedy.
Stingy is mean.
Avarice is
Yeah.
greedy and hoarding.
Yeah, greedy and
Stingy
holding
is-
on. Stingy is.
Stingy is
Bit
not
meaner.
giving.
Yeah,
It's
Avarice
not
is
giving, but avarice is
holding.
holding
Avarice
on.
has
Yeah, there's a
holding,
difference.
hoarding.
Holding
Yeah.
Serna. In Tibetan
There's
we
a
say
slight difference, yeah.
stingy and
Avarice.
yeah.
Avarice.
They put together as Serna. Anyway, I think also, so compassion is like attitude of the rich and fairy. And forgiveness is the, attitude of the resentment. And just accept the reality is the best attitude of concealment. And Sikpa also, I think, the accept the reality also the best attitude of spitefulness, and the rejoicing is the best attitude of jealousy, and also the giving practice is the best attitude of stinginess, avarice, and miserliness. So when we say, the stingy, we always think, the stingy about the material things, right? Not like this. Somebody has very strong stingies about
Knowledge.
giving teaching,
Knowledge.
sharing knowledge. I think this is very bad because if I share, my property, I know my property became less and less. If you share your money with others, you can see going less and less. One, I think all money has gone. The education is not like that. If you share more education with others, you can gain more knowledge. But we are not really ready to share your knowledge, your experience. Look at it. It's not really becoming less and less. It's always stays same or is getting, increase more. If you share your knowledge, they will share their knowledge with you. This knowledge is increasing. Why we are not ready to share your own experience, your own knowledge? Why? Because you have a kind of self-centered.
Self-centered.
Self-centered. You really want to be, famous in the society. You really want to be, kind of principal in the family, principal with the friends. If you know, I know if I share my knowledge with them, they're going to have the same experience with me, then they're going to be higher than me. Also, that I kind of also I think also there can be, one is very self-centered, one is always want to be superior in the society, right?
Yeah.
All of them arising based on attachment. You have very strong attachment about your name. Someone become more famous than you, then you are not happy. But, all of them, arising based on attachment. So we shouldn't think, stingy is only about the money and food and clothes. Something about education, experience. Also, in Buddha mentioned many times, when you share your knowledge with your disciple, your students, you must share your knowledge with equally with your all students. Sometimes you can see in the class, some teachers share their knowledge experience with particular students, not everybody. So as I this is, I think, they say, it looks like Buddha said this kind of bad thoughts, not sharing your equal knowledge with your student equally. This kind of, shouldn't think stingy is only about the material things. The number 7 is Maya. Pretense? Pretense, is pretense and deceit. You said number 7, I think it's going to same base. You. Yeah. This is, I think, very dangerous for monks and nuns. Not much about the layperson. Yeah. It's happening, happened in the past, it's happening now, within the because the layperson, few times me and Geshe Sandhu, when we had a breakfast in the balcony, it's out of our room, we have been seeing, every morning people walking on the street, holding some food, some eat food and like drink, so busy. And we said, look, it's really nice. Even the lay person, they get up early morning and they go their office where they do their job, they get money, just eat themselves. They don't have to pretend, oh, I'm very practitioner, I'm very scholar, I'm really good monks and nuns. I gain a lot of knowledge and power. Sometimes I really feel, myself, I'm not saying all monks and nuns, sometimes I feel a little bit upset, kind of myself. Since 10 years old, I became a monk when I was 10 years old. Since 10 years until now, my food, my clothes, my education, everything 100% on depends other. Look at all my clothes. Somebody give money, I buy clothes. Somebody give money, I eat a food, clothes. Everything depends on others. As a lay person, look at you depends on others, but not much. You can use your just kind of experience and don't have to pretend. Whatever you have an education, you can get a job according to your education. It's very easy, kind of easy life. the monks and nuns, it look like very easy life. You don't have to go walk in the morning, 6-7 hours, 2 hours. But sometimes say, oh, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. But, look very easy. But if you really think in the deeper way, not easy. Even though if I eat just one piece of banana from the layperson who offered me banana, they have a strong hope and wish. They think if I offer this food, this money, this clothes to monk, I'm going to marry, accumulate a lot of merit. If I just eat simply, not any praying, wishing, very heavy karma. I have to experience really heavy karma in the next life. And somebody invited us in a family house, okay, we have someone who got sick, this problem, please do pray. They have very strong hope. If I'm not able to cure their disease through my prayer and chanting, also very heavy burden. But you never think for the monks and nuns' life is very easy. Looks very easy, but not really. One of the Tibetan, I think, he was kind of high practitioner. He pretended as a mad, right?
Mad.
Like a kind of a
Mental disease.
mental disease. He's very high practitioner. He changed a lot of system in Tibet. He said, there's someone who are between next life and previous life. In the between, there's someone who are in the between previous and next life. If they are not going to die, they are a very happy person. He was saying the monks and nuns. If they are not going to die, they are very happy. Everything get from others. Look at it. We have to die. One day, doesn't matter, Buddha Shakyamuni, he passed away, even though he attained Buddhahood. So we have to die. So all the karma which I created myself, I have to experience myself. And he said there's someone who between next life and the previous life, if they are not going to die, don't have to die, they are a very happy person. So looks very easy, looks very easy life, but not really. That's why like pretends. Especially, I'm not really criticizing all of you. Especially, in this moment, even though in the Singapore and Malaysia and China, we don't have many in India because we have a very, very little population of Tibetan Buddhist. In China and Singapore, you have a kind of big population of like Buddhist. So when you meet a master, a teacher, a nun or monk or lay person, you shouldn't think they are really high practitioner. They are educated, they are scholar, they are very honesty. Just meet them, talk together, share their knowledge. You shouldn't really believe that they are really good. Because they know, how to pretend high practitioner. So I think it's very dangerous for monks and nuns. So somebody always pretend I'm a good. And number 8, hypocrisy. Right? Hypocrisy and dishonesty. It's number 8. Number 8, right? Number 8, hypocrisy, dishonest. It is not really a similar meaning, which is in the Tibetan text. It's kind of cunning. Can you say cunning? Kind of. What does mean exactly in hypocrisy? Hypocrisy.
You don't actually.
You
say something, but you don't mean it. If you're a hypocrite, you kind of.
Dishonest.
Yeah, you're kind of dishonest.
Dishonest.
Yeah.
The real meaning is here, look at. And also, it's very, kind of in deep down, I hold I think there's a 4, they put the number 4 one. So I have a very strong desire about something. I need something from someone. For example, I have a strong desire about like an iPhone. I don't have it. Somebody has a true iPhone. But I really want one of the iPhone for me. Then I said to them, oh, this iPhone look very useful. Reading kind of text, this thing. Really, I don't say I directly I need it. I'm just talking to them in a very nice way. How I can get the things from them.
Being hypocritical.
Yeah.
That's
That
more.
one is deceit.
Well, it's not really deceit. If you're a hypocrite,
It's kind of, his very common words in Tibetan say, you tell me, look at,
Sweet talk to
Yeah,
obtain
Oh,
something.
yeah.
you don't mean.
yeah, like
don't
that,
mean what you
sweet talk,
say.
sweet talk is nice, yeah, sweet talks or in the deep down
You're not
they
being
have
realistic.
Yeah, no
You're not
realistic.
being-
Yeah.
You're not yourself. You're not your true
yeah.
you.
So look at it, you can see, someone did something from you, they always say, oh, you are so nice, you are so good, you always, giving someone in a good way. And sometimes say, oh, in different way. Finally, they need something from them. They talk very sweetly, very nice way. But the deep down, the person needs something from other person. Deep down, they hold kind of wanting something. Also, my own experience, when I was in discipline in church, in my hostel, someone need kind of permission for a few days. They're going to ask the permission next week. I can see this week they really always respect me. That's mean, this in deep down they have already motivation, asking permission. But before few days before they just acting in a nice way. Because they know, then I think, oh, he's a nice person, easy to get permission. It's very canny and sweet
It
talk.
can be cunning, but you can't say that they are hypocrites. Not really hypocrites, because hypocrites comes always with a personal gains with bad intention.
Hypocrite would be, for example, a discipline master always tell people, you must do this, then behind he's doing something
He's
else.
doing something
Doing the
else.
same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh.
So you do the opposite. You always do the opposite of what you're.
That's why when I read the list,
Yeah.
for me, some things not really make sense. But so you in the future, you just please do research each of them, compare with
It's still very
Tibetan.
bad. It's very
Yeah.
bad. Definitely unwholesome.
Dishonest. And number 9 is, I think, Guba Gyakpa is very easy, right? Self-expectation.
It's thinking wonderful and marvelous.
Material expectation, self-expectation. Very
Mental
easy.
inflation.
Boosting self-ego.
Boosting self-ego.
Number 9 is easy, right?
Yes, yes.
It's very easy.
Like that.
What the number 10?
Malicious.
Malice.
Gyakpa. Number 7. Yeah, it's also okay. Also, we have to compare, which negative emotion close to anger, attachment, desire, or wrong view. Most of them is one is someone is close to anger, someone is close to attachment, someone close to the wrong view. Number 10 is very close to the angry, right? Yeah. Number 10 is business. Malicious, and I don't know the name. Yeah. Number 10 is easy. Number 11, lack of shame.
Shameless.
Shame, yeah, lack of shame or shameless, right? Lack of shame, lack of consciousness, shamelessness.
Conscious.
Which one that is close
Conscious, you
to
don't care.
grasping, attachment?
It can be close,
Pride or
few of them.
But this one doesn't close to anger at all, isn't it? Shameless.
Look, if I have very strong kind of desire about eating kind of,
Close to pride, isn't it? Or attachment to yourself.
so
Kind
you
of
should,
shame.
you should read the list and compare which one is more close to the six mental, like a,
Six root.
Root,
yeah.
yeah. That's why when Tibetans say, nyenyun means closeness unwholesome factor, closeness with the six root of mental factors. Level. Number 12, level. Number 12 is here,
Variety.
Chelmepa.
Is also shamelessness.
So number 10 and number 11 and number 12, can you see the differences, two of them? Lack of shame, shameless, lack of purity, discern and shameless.
Not proper.
Not proper in your behaviour.
Yeah, not people behavior. Yeah. I mentioned before you that at the last class,
They're different.
so both of these, involved with kind of the negative actions. They're doing kind of negative action. Some say, oh, I don't care what other people said. I don't care other. They just do the bad thing. It's kind of shameless.
That's
Shameless.
disregard. That's disregard, right?
Secondly, I say, oh, I don't care what Buddha said.
Yeah.
I don't care what Buddha said. I don't care all the high masters said. I don't care. Just I want to do this action. One is, just totally ignore others. Second, ignore the Buddha teaching. Ignore the vows and the commitments. They both is involved with the bad action. The opposite is, they're distant with the negative actions because, if I do this, other people are going to say about me. They're just distant with the negative action. Secondly, I'm not going to do this action because as a monk I took vows, all the Buddhas, all the Arahats, is really looking to me. So I just distant with the negative action. So, in Tibetan is very easy. The word is like mosa mepa, tel mepa. Somebody say, the person is shameless, right? When the person doing something in front of other people, they neglect others. Okay, number 12, number 13.
Lethargy and sleepiness.
Lethargy in here, number 13 is I think the same order. Is very the closeness with the ignorance, right? The meaning.
Yeah.
Satana,
Yeah, lethargy.
lethargy,
It's
Couldn't care
a
less.
physical
gloominess.
condition.
Yeah. Not really interested. Down.
is kind of close to the ignorance, but not really ignorance. Because when you try to do meditation,
You have
after a few minutes you feel your body feels so heavy. And also, after you meditate on your chosen object, and suddenly you can feel your mind is so heavy, not really clear.
Yeah.
Mukpa. Also, mukpa is very close to like a sleepy,
Be lethargic.
laziness, kind of very kind of heavy body and heavy kind of not clear mind. I think this is very one of the I think very strong enemy of mindfulness. Somehow I know, someday you can see, you can feel, just this morning I had a really good meditation, and after you feel, I cannot focus. You feel so heavy your body. Sometimes you feel, I'm okay, my body is okay, but mentally you feel a little bit uncomfortable. So, If you feel, bodily, you feel so heavy when you do meditation, when you try to focus on your chosen object, and there's many different ways you can, awake your body through little exercise, through putting your water to your face. This is very easy. If you feel mentally kind of very laziness or not really, you cannot see the chosen object very clearly, then you need to develop sense of aspiration. You need to aspire yourself. You need to think about the good quality about Buddha, good quality about Bodhicitta, good quality about great compassion. Then when your mind you are lifting up, your mind lifting up, then your mind becomes more stronger. For example, when you do something for others, if you feel so tired, the best example, you just remember Dalai Lama. Right now he is almost 80 years old. But he worked for others tirelessly, even the 80 years old. And you think, oh, I must do. Look, even though he's 80 years old, he's doing so many things for others. Why not me? And you feel little bit,
Uplift.
uplift yourself. So this is either one of the very bad kind of enemy or obstacle for meditation. Also, the mind, and I think everybody has an experience. The mind and the light has some, connection. When you open your window, the curtain, everything, a lot of light, for you, difficult to have us sleeping, right? Even you have to close all the curtain in order to sleep. If there's a lot of light, you cannot sleep. When you feel a little bit lazy, little bit kind of sleepy, and just open your door and window, you get a little fresh air, drink some water. And another important, also the laziness, I think, is also depends on your food. Of course, most of you vegetarian, even though if you eat kind of oily food in the evening, tomorrow morning you feel a little heavy body. You feel a little sleepy. Of course, if you eat meat in the evening today, tomorrow morning you feel so heavy, you feel your body so heavy, your mind is not very clear. Of course, this may be negative karma which you eat a meat. Not only that, because if you eat the heavy food, oil food, according to the Tibetan medicine, of course, according to Chinese traditional medicine, look at when you eat oily food, things it reduce your wind in your body. It suppress the wind which is running in with your internal system. If the wind is become very weak, and the mind also become very weak. Minds. So the laziness mind is very related, very much related with the food. So that's why the Buddha Shakyamuni said, or the monks and nuns not allowed to eat dinner. If you eat dinner, when you get up in the morning, you feel so heavy, you feel so sleepy. Especially this moment, many people don't mention about eating garlic. They don't mention, the monks and nuns not allowed to eat garlic, even though. Buddha mentioned very, very clearly in the few texts, if you are really sick, if you need to eat garlic, it's okay, you can eat the garlic as a medicine, but you shouldn't enter in the temple for 1 week. 1 week. When you go to the temple around the stupa, you must keep distant. Because Buddha said, eating garlic is very bad. There's maybe related with the Hindu culture, or maybe related to the practice. But many Hindus, people don't eat garlic. Especially all the Jain people, they never not allowed to eat garlic, potato, ginger, milk and butter. So this moment many people mention, don't eat garlic. Many people mention don't eat meat, not garlic. Now also somebody said if you eat garlic, it increase your attachment and desire. I'm not sure, right?
Yes.
Garlic, onion, it increase your attachment, desire. So this is, I think, is the laziness kind of body and mind. Yeah. Lethargy and gloominess is nice. Gloominess, not kind of really light. Number 14. Gopa, Udaya, excitement. How can it blends? Yeah, Gopa. So, what the meaning according to the English term? Excitement.
Get very excited, so you lose focus.
Yeah, focus.
Lose focus.
What is the differences, excitement? Because excitement can be, positive or can be negative, right? You have really excited about practicing bodhicitta is good.
Practice come abiding in it.
Yeah, you have excited before you do meditation, then it's good. It's inspiring you to do the meditation. But here, the Tibetan is a Gopa. Gopa, I call it this and Gopa. The last one, destruction. Yeah. So you must differentiate between number 20 and number 14.
Yeah.
Anybody can differentiate two of them? Excitement and destruction. When you get a kind of excitement, you got the destruction, right? Destruction and excitement. Destruction. Distraction, yeah. So what is the differences?
If you're distracted, you're not concentrating, so you're not being mindful.
Yeah. And excitement
Like
is said.
Yeah. So you're not mindful.
You can't be focused,
Yeah, you
right?
can't be focused.
Yeah, I think based on my the Tibetan text, the truth that only you can differentiate based on causes and condition. Cause and condition. You got excited mind or destruction mind,
Distracted.
or destructive. So you can differentiate only the causes and condition. But both of them is just one is going here and there. The mind you got distracted based on attachment, desire, that we can call the number 14, excitement. Excitement always based on attachment and desire. Due to the desire, due to the attachment, you got excitement that we can call excitement. Both of it is destruction, yeah, destruction. Destruction, right?
As opposed to distrust, yeah, distract.
Destruction.
It's not destruct. It's not you. It's
Destruction, yeah. So it's so difficult for me. Anyway, so two of them you can differentiate only the cause and condition. You got this destruction due to the anger, ignorance, other negative emotion, then we can call number 20. Distraction, yeah.
It's a really long word.
Yeah. Disillusionist. Okay, so anyway, number 14 and number 20 is the somewhat different based on cause and condition. Not much any other differences to them. Number 15, lack of faith, lack of trust. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
Matepa. So also, a lack of faith and lack of trust is, I think also very bad kind of obstacle about gaining knowledge. If you don't trust other, if you don't have a really faith or believe other, it's for you so difficult to have a knowledge from other too. So it's mentioned in this text. Number 15 is easy. Number 16, laziness. Slothfulness. Slothfulness. Laziness is very easy, right?
Yes.
Laziness is not like physical, right? Mental laziness. So the laziness and also the lethargy, you must differentiate two of them, okay? Laziness and lethargy.
Yeah.
Lethargy.
So 30.
Lethargy is kind of, when you try to focus on the object, you cannot see the object clearly. Right?
It's not the same as laziness.
Yeah, not exactly the same.
It's not close. It's not even close about laziness.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Laziness is
Lazy,
you
you
can do, but
I-
you just
Yeah.
Look
Can't
for-
be bothered.
Okay.
Yeah. Lazy.
Laziness, number 16. Number 17,
Careless. Heedless.
heedlessness and carelessness. Unconcern. Concern. Number 17 here, what should be? Yeah, careless is closer. Careless. I think this is a careless. I think the it should be I think the opposite of the careless must be the careful, right?
Yes.
Careless. What is the opposite of the benefit? Beneficial. Opposite.
Cost.
Oh,
A cost. A cost. The harm can harm.
Benefit
so like
and
an
cost.
opposite of a benefit is usually a cost. So a negative effect.
okay.
Benefit is a positive effect.
Okay. Yeah. So careless. Here in the bar, I think careless. I don't know. Somebody, gives something to you. You say you're really careful. If you feel the object, then you say you are careless, right? Careless. But it's not really this kind of careless. Number this one. As a monk, as a nun, you always remember I took vows. And even though when I eat something, I always must remember, even the single, the small piece of food involve many people. And when there's been always,
Opposite of mindfulness.
it's kind of, opposite of mindfulness. But make this like a non. Opposite of mindful. You're always mindful. Even though if you're always mindful, as I'm a human being, I'm a kind of mom of the family. Then when you ready to do the bad thing, then you can always restrain. But it's not really just careless, careless. Mindful and unmindful. Can you say unmindfulness? Not non-mindfulness. How we can say mindfulness opposite? What's the opposite of mindfulness? Huh? Okay. Anyway, number 17. The number 18 is easy, I think. Forgetfulness. Number 19 is non-awareness and inattentiveness. Oh, so long words for me. And number 20 is very distraction and dissolution. Whatever. Yeah. So today we just stop here. So important, you just compare all the words and just compare which one is more close to the attachment, desire, anger. So tomorrow is very easy. Four changeable mental factors. The next one we can talk this one. Okay, so anybody got any questions? Oh, really? Quite clear? Yeah. That's
There's a
good.
lot there.
Yeah. I think some of you, or most of you, always, interested in meditation. Kind of when you do meditation, sometimes for you so difficult to differentiate total mindfulness to the object and the kind of look at when your mind becomes very lazy, that means your mind is still focusing on chosen object. Your mind, you still mindful to the object, but that moment the mind is focused to the chosen object, but not so clear. Still mindfulness. When you try to meditate on what you want to focus, that moment your mind is totally mindful of the object. Not only that, your mind must be very clear, very alert. Two things always be happy. Always two things you have to come down. Focus fully, also you really have to aware the chosen object very clearly. If you have one or not two of them, then your meditation not really in the proper. Totally mindful and also very clear. It looks like somebody hold the object, not just like this, very strongly. When you hold the object, you just hold very strongly. That means you hold the object, you focus to the chosen object. Strongly means your mind must be very, very clear. Sometimes you can see, you can feel, I'm doing totally mindfulness or something. If you think about your meditation, you think that, oh, maybe I little bit kind of sleepy. Right? That means that moment your mind is not really clear. You're not able to focus on the object very clearly. Kind of dullness, kind of sleepy mind. So, most of you are interested in meditation, you must have a combined true mind together, very clear and very focused. If you are able to focus, if you're not so clear, then you cannot see the chosen object very clearly. If you're very clear about the object, if your mind is not focused, then for you not able to develop single pointed meditation. So you must combine two together. Okay, so thank you so much. So we just stop here. So we will see in next class. Next is Saturday.